Imagine encountering an animal so magnificent and awe-inspiring that it leaves you breathless. Now imagine the same creature, gone forever, lost to the world we know today. This is the fate of the extinct animals of antiquity encountered by the ancient people of the old world, be it the Romans, Greeks, or Chinese. Hello, and welcome back to The Abandoned Archaeologist, the channel to learn all about ancient archaeological findings. Today we will discover the extinct animals of antiquity and delve into the mysteries of their disappearance. But before we begin, to get your attention, we have a question you can answer at the end of the video. How do we know about extinct animals? Write down your answer in the comment section and see if you got it right. Here we begin. Caspian Tiger. The Caspian tiger was a subspecies of Panthera tigris that inhabited regions of eastern Turkey, northern Iran, Mesopotamia, Central Asia, and the Xinjiang region in western China until the 1970s. In the past, it was also found in Ukraine and southern Russia. The Caspian tiger has been regarded as extinct since 2003, but recent studies suggest that it may be possible to bring it back through cloning. The Caspian tiger was also called Balkhash tiger, Hyrcanian tiger, Turanian tiger, and Mazandaran tiger. The main background color of its fur was brighter and more uniform than that of the Siberian tiger, and its stripes were narrower, fuller, and more closely set than those of the tigers from Manchuria. The male Caspian tiger had a body length of 270 to 295 centimeter and weighed 170 to 240 kilograms, while the female measured 240 to 260 centimeter in head to body and weighed between 85 to 135 kilogram. It was one of the largest extant cat species, along with the Siberian tiger. Its distribution in the Caspian Sea region was not continuous but patchy, associated with wetlands such as river basins, lake edges, and seashores. Wild elephants. The Paleoloxodon genus is an extinct group of elephants that lived during the Pleistocene and Holocene epochs. The genus contains several species, including Paleoloxodon antiquus, Paleoloxodon reiki, and Paleoloxodon nomadic. These species were found in Africa, Europe, and Asia. Some are believed to be ancestral to the modern Asian elephant, or Elephas maximus. The Paleoloxodon elephants were larger than their modern counterparts, with some species reaching up to 5 meters in height and weighing more than 20 tons. In addition, they had long, straight tusks, and their molars had multiple ridges for grinding tough vegetation. These features suggest that they were adapted to a diet of grasses and woody plants and were well suited to living in open grasslands and savannas. The evolutionary position of Paleoloxodon is still a matter of debate among scientists. Some researchers believe Paleoloxodon is a sister group of Elephas, meaning they share a common ancestor but are not each other's closest relatives. Others suggest that Paleoloxodon is a direct ancestor of Elephas, and that the modern Asian elephant evolved from Paleoloxodon through natural selection and adaptation. Regardless of their evolutionary position, the Paleoloxodon elephants were undoubtedly enigmatic creatures of ancient history. Nevertheless, their fossils and remains have been found in many parts of the world. They offer valuable insights into the ecology and evolution of elephants and other large mammals during the Pleistocene and Holocene epochs. Lions. The lion Panthera Leo, known as a king of beasts, is a majestic animal and the second largest living cat after the tiger. Once widely distributed across most of Africa and parts of Europe and Asia, lions are confined to several isolated areas, amounting to only about 20% of their historic range. Around 100 years ago, as many as 200,000 lions lived wild in Africa. However, recent surveys put the number of wild lions at around 30,000 or even as low as 20,000. Lions face three main interlinked threats: continued loss of habitat, loss of their prey base, and conflict with humans. According to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, Retaliatory or preemptive attacks against lions are the species' worst threats, and the IUCN lists African lions as vulnerable to extinction. Prehistoric lions were even more widespread than modern lions, including the Eurasian cave lion, or Panthera Leo spalia, and the American lion, Panthera Leo atrox. The former evolved around 370,000 years ago and ranged widely across Europe and Asia, and the latter evolved around 340,000 years ago and ranged throughout much of the Americas. These lions became extinct at the end of the Pleistocene epoch, around 11,000 years ago. Modern lions are thought to have originated around 124,000 years ago in eastern and southern Africa, and they spread throughout most of Africa and from there into southeastern Europe, the Middle East, the South Caucasus, southern Russia, southern Afghanistan, and the Indian subcontinent. Although lions have long since disappeared from Europe, according to reports by ancient Greek writers such as Herodotus and Aristotle, they were common in Greece around 480 BCE. Lions feature heavily in ancient Greek mythology and writings. Tarpan. The tarpan, also known as the European wild horse, is one of the enigmatic creatures of ancient history that is now extinct. Once roaming the grassy plains of Europe, the tarpan was an essential part of the ecosystem and a symbol of freedom and strength. Believed to have gone extinct in the early 20th century, Tarpan attempted to breed tarpans. Through selective breeding, led to the development of domestic breeds, such as the Heck horse, Haggart, and the conic breed, with a primitive appearance, including the gruelo coat color. There were only minor differences between the two proposed subtypes of the tarpan, namely the forest tarpan and the steppe tarpan. The last individual, who died in captivity in 1909, had a thick, falling mane, a gruelo coat color, dark legs, and primitive markings, including a dorsal stripe and shoulder stripes. Whether tarpans represented genuine wild horses, feral domestic horses, or hybrids is unknown. The appearance of European wild horses may be reconstructed with genetic, osteologic, and historic data. Tarpan DNA shows its ancestry to be a mixture of horses native to Europe and found with the corded ware culture, and horses closely related to the Dom 2 population, the ancestors of modern domestic horses. Japanese wolf. The Japanese wolf, also known as the Honshu wolf, was an extinct subspecies of the gray wolf that was once endemic to the Japanese archipelago. It was one of two subspecies found in Japan, the other being the Hokkaido wolf. The Japanese wolf was smaller than other gray wolves and may have been the last surviving wild member of the Pleistocene wolf lineage. Despite being revered in Japan, the introduction of rabies and canine distemper led to the decimation of the population, and policies enacted during the Meiji Restoration led to the persecution and eventual total extermination of the subspecies by the early 20th century. Many dog breeds originating from Japan also have Japanese wolf DNA from past hybridization. There have been alleged sightings of wolves in Japan, but due to environmental and behavioral factors, doubts persist over their identity. The last Japanese wolf was captured and killed in 1905. Since then, no verified sightings have been reported. The Japanese wolf remains an enigmatic creature of ancient history. Auroch. Auroch is a massive animal, the ancestor of modern-day cattle, roamed the plains of Eurasia and northern Africa during the Pleistocene modern era, weighing a whopping 1 ton and standing 6 feet tall. The auroch was known for its prominent horns and larger size in males compared to females. Early humans hunted and domesticated the auroch, leading to its extinction, but small, dwindling populations survived into modern times, with the last individual dying in 1627. Also, they are famous for being one of the few prehistoric animals to be depicted in ancient cave paintings, including the famous drawing from Lascaux in France, dating back 17,000 years. Interestingly, the auroch comprised 3 separate subspecies, with the North African auroch being the most obscure. Julius Caesar described the auroch as similar in appearance to a bull, but the size of an elephant, with extraordinary strength and speed. German zoo directors in the 1920s even attempted to resurrect the Auroch through selective breeding of modern cattle, resulting in a breed of oversized oxen known as heck cattle. So this is it. The answer to our question is, we know about extinct animals through fossil records, scientific research, and historical accounts. Comment below and subscribe for more.